Hey, mic check 1 2 1 3. Mic check 1 2 1 3. Can you guys hear me? Can you see me? I'm just getting back to my studio. Some things are a little off, and some updates happen. Some things don't work. Your boy. Oh, okay, that works. Okay, hold up. Things are like in this buffering stage, so just throwing me off a little bit. Plus, I came home to a little bit of a crisis with the wife and kids, and that's all squared away now. So. Got my boom boom stick. Got the boom boom. All right, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Stacks for Real, Sacrifice for Riches. I am finally home. I've been on the road for 4 days, maybe 5. I don't even remember anymore. And all the while, we've been killing the game. Of course, I've been like extraordinarily busy with like my day-to-day job and traveling, and 90% of the time, 80% of the time, while the market was open, I was on the highway. So I did what I could, especially if you are a Discord member, Sacrifice for Riches. You guys got a lot of like amazing alerts, right? We hit the home run on multiple plays, and we're going to talk about it. But also, I'll disclose that there's some false advertisement in my thumbnail, and it showed like Netflix had like 17%. Well, that's a lie. I think it was like 68%. And 68% on a Netflix play is pretty darn good. So, but either which way, welcome everybody. Shout out to all the new members. Shout out to all the goats that's been here. You know, you see them, their names with goats on fire. Love to see it. Roll Life, I see you. Denise, JC, I see you. And let's see. It looks like we got 16 people here. I mean, we normally have a better turnout, but we will see. I'm on limited time because once my wife and kid gets home from dance, your boy is busy. I need to tag myself in so my wife can, you know, get some relief, because it's been a wild ride. I'm really bright in here, ain't I? I'm really bright. All right, I'm really bright. So, put a 1 in the chat and let me know if any of you ate off any of the plays I posted, rather it's Netflix, rather it's AMD, rather it's SPY, rather it's NVDA, rather it's SoFi, rather you're a PTRN holder, like, you know, that ran up $19, insane. So we're doing business, all right? Love to see it. I'm gonna send one announcement out real quick. Make sure people know. I think they know that we're live. Plus, I'm dealing with like integrating people in the Discord while getting this in, so it's a crazy day. Everyone, rapid fire live right now. Okay. Let's copy this text and copy the link, and I'll share it in another place for KGU. I think we got everything on our end. 1 second. And your boy got to get back to form though. Calls and puts. Let's go here. Live now. All right. So I'd love to see it. So let me know if there's any questions before we kind of get into it. So stretch. I need to grab a backup drink, a beverage. Can y'all give me 15 seconds? Give me 15 seconds. Your boy needs to make sure I can talk and get through this. So just give me a minute. I'm about to go get a drink, and I'll be right back. All right. And we back. All right. Okay. Let's see. Did we get any more people in here? We got 19 people. So shout out to everybody that just showed up. If you're not a subscriber, you will not be able to leave a comment, just so you know. All right. So what are we doing here? So for those that are new, this is the rapid fire chart analysis, right? So this is a live stream to where I get online and I bring up a chart and then I look to the chat for ticker requests. So you guys may be interested in Amazon, Netflix, which I'm upset about because it just popped off and I knew it. I just had a feeling. But anyway, NVDA, SPY, whatever it is, a stock of interest, you might have a bias to the upside or the downside. And what you would do, you would just put your ticker in the chat once I say go. And then I will look at that and I will do a quick analysis on said ticker, and then give you kind of like my dialogue as far as what I think is going to happen with the stock. Now, for me to be able to speak directly to you, it's best if you can provide some type of context as far as what you're looking. So, hey, you can say, man, I've been killing it on NVIDIA, or I've been getting slapped in NVIDIA, and I'm looking to enter a position. I'm thinking long. Or say, hey, Rail, NVIDIA calls, call bias, or whatever. Whatever it is, just leave a little context on the end of that and I'll take care of it, and I'll speak to whatever your whatever the context of that post is. Okay, if your name is in green, that means that you are a Sacrifice for Riches member, right? That means that you get priority as it relates to ticker requests. If you are a goat on fire, right? Like, so if your name is green, you got a goat on fire, you are number one. Okay, at all times. If I see your name pop over the ticker, and there's a bunch of other people with tickers, your priority. Okay, and then it goes on from there, right? If your name is not in green, right, but you are a KGU, Kenan Graces University for the Gifted, if you are in that Discord, that is my home, right? I am a crown member over there. I'm swing trades with Rail, right? All you have to do is put hashtag KGU in your comment with that ticker, and then you also have priority access. All right. So that's just how that goes down. So nothing starts. I look at no tickers. I will not be writing anything down. I am not scrolling back after, like, before I get started. So hold your tickers until I say it's go time. All right. To which I will have a timer. I will set it for about 20-25 minutes, and then I will go and be as efficient and as clean as possible. All right. So that being said, before we get into the charts, hey, what's up, Apollo? And I love that movie, and Apollo Creed is dope. I'm doing well. Hopefully you're doing well as well, big dog. All right. So, but before we get started, let's just show you the wins. Okay. Now I got stuff like covering my face and all over the place, but it's all good. Okay. So at the end of the day, you guys can see how we getting down. Okay. Let's see if I can clean this up. Move this over here, and let's move this one over here. All right. So this is pretty much from what we've done. This isn't everything. This is just some of what we've done since our last rapid fire live stream. Okay. So as you can see, absolutely killing the game with NVIDIA. I've called out multiple NVIDIA plays like nonstop. We've done day trades, we've done scalps, we've done swing trades on NVIDIA. We've just been absolutely killing it. Netflix, KGU, you got my second alert on the Netflix trade, but Sacrifice for Riches, you got it instantly on the first one. And I couldn't like relay that message because by that time it was too late. So if you get the alert, then, you know, do your due diligence and you hop into play, and then hopefully you're winning. But Netflix isn't a cheap stock or a cheap option contract to get into. So I get it for those that are reserved, but I want y'all to understand something. A lot of people say, well, I can't afford the Netflix type of play because it's just too much money. It's too much risk. Do understand this, that you're not like, so a Netflix contract, like for instance, you see one that I paid $845 for, right? The bottom one, right? It's $845 for that contract. I'm not risking $845 for that play. Not at all. Actually, in that particular play, I had $30 at risk. That's it. I had a $30 risk tolerance on that. I just put up $845 to buy the contract, right? So what does that tell you? I bet less than 10%. Like I was risking less than 10%. I think it was like a 6% risk when it was all said and done, and that 845 turned into $980, right? So that was a pretty good win, right? There's another one right here that says Netflix 1130, right? It's a 68% gain, one contract at $353. And you know, I'm actually missing a Netflix because there was one I had like 4 contracts for. But anyway, that one I paid $515 for. But as you can see, like I made $353. However, I wasn't betting $515. I actually remember this one specifically, and I set my stop to 400 in, I think it was like 480 or something like that. So I was risking what's that, 30, so 480, 20, so $35. I was risking $35 roughly on that play. 20 gets you to 100. Yeah, plus the 15. Yeah, $35. So remember that it's okay, like, to buy a more expensive contract if you have the bag for it, and if you know whatever. But what's not okay is if you're gonna hop into something like that and not have proper risk management, because you'll easily blow your account if you have a smaller account, right? So just be mindful. Like, the amount of money that you're buying the contract for isn't the money that you're risking, right? It's just the money you're putting up. You control that risk. You control how much of that $800 that you might lose or that you're willing to lose. And you just have to be accepting of that, right? So just so y'all know, okay? Put a 1 in the chat if you're tracking what I'm talking about, okay? Okay, let me see if we got some participation, because I got to make sure that you guys can hear me and y'all are tracking what I'm talking about. Otherwise, it's going to be a long day. All right, so that being said, one thing that we do on Packer games is every time we score a touchdown, we take a Jello shot. I got a little happy face on mine because I don't drink booze. So my wife indulges in her tequila shots, and I just enjoy the Jello. So because NVIDIA is green, and we've been killing it on NVIDIA, your boy's taking a Jello shot. So, and I really want some Jello. So, Oh, that's good. All right, let's keep it a buck. Let's have some fun. All right, so if there's no questions, if there's no, hey, I used to have a good time. So she likes to include me. All right, make sure to apply the stop loss when buying contracts, especially high value contracts. Not only that, I'm about to give you a little bit of game, and I just went over this in a live trade review session with the Discord. Okay, so what we did, one of our members was struggling a little bit. Me and him pretty much had a one-on-one, and then I invited the entire Discord. It's typically for like megalodons and above, but I invited the entire Discord to kind of like just join the conversation. So me and him were conversing about what had went wrong, things that he could improve on, and we were just pretty much talking about his strategy live in front of everybody. So, but what we discovered also was this whole Netflix fiasco and how people were kind of like scared about Netflix. And so I'm going to share you a little tidbit on a play like that. So the one thing about Netflix, just real quick, is that Netflix traditionally has a pretty big spread, right? So what does that mean? That means that typically the bid and ask is like $5 to $20 sometimes. So if I were to bring these back up, like, good example, you can see on the screen that the bottom one that says Netflix 31 October, somebody's hitting that 100 button like big time. I love it. Let's go. I'll see you. But it says I paid $845 for that contract, right? It shows you a bid size of $9.05. So 905, right? $905. And it has an ask of $989, right? That's a huge spread, right? Like if your bid is this and your ask is this, the biggest mistake that most traders can make is buying something like that at the ask, because the moment you do that, you're instantly negative. So my rule of thumb when I play Netflix is that the max I'm gonna buy it at is the mid, okay? But I try my best to buy it at the bid. And here's a pro tip, okay? So that bid is 905. If you see a bid at 905, there's people buying and selling at 905. You just might not get filled. So I will start about $10 over the bid. And then instead of just like getting desperate and trying to hop into the play and hit the ask or the mid, I'll go up every $5 in increments in order for me to buy this contract at the lowest price absolutely possible, okay? And eventually it gets filled. Hey, what's good, big dog? Hey, thank you, man. Shout out to you. You throwing bills at me. Much love, big dog. KG in the building. All right. But yes, so when you're looking at Netflix, right? You don't buy the ask, y'all. Just don't do that, because you're instantly down like 30% and you're smoked instantly. And then your emotions get into the mix, and you just don't want that. So if you can start at the bid and then start incrementally adding to your position, because like this is about to move, right? Like your levels are set and confirmed above, and you're just waiting for that rocket. Then start at the bid and go up every $5, and then eventually you'll get that fill, right? Even before the mid. And when you get that fill, you're gonna notice that you're gonna be up on that play like 10+% instantly, instead of being down 30% on the play instantly. You don't want to mess around with spreads that are $80 wide, okay? You get the bid or you let it go. It's not worth it, okay? It's not worth it. So, pro tip, hopefully that helps you, but that's exactly how we won in the game when it came to Netflix a couple times over the past week, all right? So hopefully that helped everybody. Yep, hashtag KGU, right? Everybody know what time it is. So for those that are here in KG, I say this all the time, whether you're here or not, big dog. Everybody knows that I call KGU home. But if you're here and you are in KGU and you are not a doctorate member, then DM me and I'll send you the link so you can upgrade, so you can see me and the other crown traders live trade and do live training sessions, as well as KG. You already know what time it is. So we're doing this in front of y'all and trying to give everybody as much exposure as possible so that you guys can see us make mistakes and also make calculated decisions and see what it takes and what it is to execute on these things. All right. So without further ado, we're about to get into Weatherman Rail, and then from there we're gonna go right into the live rapid fire chart analysis. Okay. So let's see. Let me make sure I'm set up. This is Weatherman Rail. Hopefully my mic works the way it's supposed to. That is one. Hold up. Okay, there we go. All right, mic check 1 2 1 3. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear your boy. Let me know if you can hear me. Oh, come on now. You can't hear me? You sure? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear your boy. All right. Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate it, Queen. All right, so you already know what time it is. It's Weatherman Rail. All right. Hopefully this works. Like, this is probably going to be the shortest weather report ever because it's pretty quick. It makes total sense. Sometimes, if y'all haven't been here, sometimes it's pretty elaborate, right? Because we got to talk about various levels, various zones, various things. But we don't need to do that this time around. We're just going to get into it, and hopefully it makes sense. All right. So let me scroll this over here, and let me make sure I can see the map, and I walk y'all through everything. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. All right. Y'all got me? Mic check 1 2 1 3. Mic check 1 2 1 3. Can you hear me? Can you see? Can you hear your boy? Weatherman real. All right. All right. So many times this is a lot cleaner, but y'all, I just got back home and I had to whip this together because, you know, I want to deliver. But yeah, just bear with me and it'll all make sense. Okay. It's hard to see a little bit. I'm gonna have to fix my screen. So let me see if I can do this and still be on point with the chart that y'all see. That is what I need to make sure it's right. Okay, we got a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to do it this way. 1 second, y'all. I got my screen is vertical. All right, so at the end of the day, all right, so we did NVIDIA, and the 167% that I talked about that we got was from last Friday. Okay, so we had our Thursday rapid fire live stream. I told everybody about NVIDIA then. I gave the alerts and I gave the complete breakdown on NVIDIA Thursday, Friday, and Monday and Tuesday. Y'all had the levels, okay? But this was the big move that I was waiting for, okay? So right here, we had this demand zone. When you see a dark blue box with a white outline on my chart, that means that it's a demand zone from a higher time frame, which means that it's likely a little bit more aggressive, and we're paying attention to this level, because if we pump through it, then imagine Mario Kart when you hit one of those ramps and you take off. That's kind of what this demand zone was acting like, and I was waiting for it to hit, and it finally did. So this is what happened. We had one down here that we caught earlier in the week, okay? But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the 167%, but we're going to talk about it. So this one popped, and then we hit this level right here at 185.76 if I'm not mistaken. All right, we hit that right here, and we were waiting. We looked to see how price reacts to these zones, because a previous level of demand becomes a supply sometimes, right? Becomes a level of resistance. So that's why you see this demand zone up high, because later in the past, this was a level of support, okay? But I don't remove these once we break down below, because it's a psychological thing. We need to remember what was a support, so we know what could be resistance or what we need to break through in order for us to be on a rocket, right? So we broke down and we finally came back to retest this level. Did I enter? Absolutely not. Why? Because once you start to approach this level, you'll notice that volume started to decrease as we went up, and then you start to see top wicks occur. So I didn't get into NVIDIA right here, but I did get in right here, right? And we rolled that up to that take profit target. Great. All right. So now we're just being patient. We see what's happening here. We retraced, we came back down, we established support at this level of demand. So this is another potential entry. But then as time progresses, you're noticing that we are in an ascending triangle, right? So a pattern starts forming after a bullish run. We pay attention to those things, and we know that when a pattern forms after said run, there's about a 52+% of it to continue in the direction of travel, right? So it's a neutral triangles and or certain special triangles or whatever patterns, they represent a lot of times a continuation and not so much a reversal. For reversals, we pay really close attention to like price action. Like, so do we see an evening star at the top of an uptrend, or an inverted hammer or shooting star or something like that? That's representative or adds to a bias for a downside move, okay? But anyway, we're watching this. We have our levels, we're watching the range, and then we see the third connection at the bottom of this ascending line of support, right? We hop in right here. If you want an early entry, if you were paying attention, Catching Rockets went live, and he actually talked about what a pro trader does versus a more conservative trader does, right? A conservative trader would wait for the break, right? And a confirmation outside of the pattern before they decide to hop in. A pro trader understands what this pattern is, and they identify this as support, and they hop in, and they understand that they have a lower risk by hopping in here versus hopping in up here. Okay, so that's kind of what you need to kind of focus on when you're looking at entering some of these positions. So for me, I know that the demand zone is like a Mario Kart, and I'm ready to hit this ramp, and I see that we are entering, right, this pattern. I see that we are finding a tighter range as we're crawling up. So we have an ascending triangle, higher support, right? So we enter, early entry, right? Then we see an increase in volume. You see that? We see an increase in volume as we're now approaching the zone. So we're about to hit that zone for a second or third time, right? That's giving me that green light. I'm ready to go. You know why I can hop into this play? I can hop into this play because I have a really tight stop loss. My strategy in this position is if we break this line, which is 185.76, if we broke that line with bullish momentum, then I'm entering calls, and I will get myself out of this position if we confirm below this level. Plain and simple, very low risk for me. I tripled down once we got into this position, okay? And we rode this wave up, and I wanna say this first move is probably about an 80% move, okay? So, was that? No, maybe that was the 167. I gotta double check. I gotta check my numbers, okay? Because there's a timestamp for this. This one, the 67 move, okay? Okay, so then we break out of the demand. So something that I need y'all to understand about supply and demand zones. These zones, the tops and bottoms, they're just like a key level, right? So like if let's say you have a key level of support, right? Let's say a key level of resistance, and you're about to break through it, you want to hop into calls, but you have to wait for that candle to close, right? Before you just hop in, or you need to wait for that candle to confirm. If that candle breaches the level of resistance and you get a nice top wick on that breach or that following candle, then calls ain't it, right? You need to slow down. That tells you that the buyers got exhausted and the sellers are stepping in. You need to cool your jets, go have a walk, a coffee or something, go pet a dog, go do something else, and let that play form, right? This is what happened this time right here, right? This is what's happening right here. As we break out of demand, you see top wick, and then you get another top wick and a red candle that drops you right back into the demand zone. So that tells me, right, that it's not supported. However, I noticed that we did not flush through the demand. That means that for me, it didn't turn into a supply. I don't see any price action that's telling me that this is a reversal. Instead, I see us make a higher low, right? Then we make a lower high. Then we make a higher low. Guess what we got? A symmetrical triangle. Guess what a symmetrical triangle represents? Like that forms after an uptrend. A continuation. There's a 50, it's not a great odds, but it's a 52% chance that it's going to continue towards the upside. I'm going to bet on that. The only reason why is because I know I'm in a demand zone. I know I'm about to hit that ramp on Mario Kart and put on my kite and take off. All right. So that's kind of what it is. So we did that at the end. So we got our money. We got our money on Friday. Right. And then at the end of the day, I told people, it was like the last 5 minutes. I want to say, I was like, hey, I see a symmetrical triangle. We're in the demand zone. We're above the key level for me right now of 185.76. I think that was the level. Sorry if I'm wrong. I got to double check my numbers. But there was too many things that told me that we weren't done running. We were waiting for this to happen. So we grabbed one contract, right? Because we're swinging this over the weekend. We know Theta is going to eat. So we need to make sure that we are not risking the bag over something over the weekend. So we got to be, risk management is important. So sure enough, the 27th on Monday, bam, boom, we wake up to this. Right? Huge move. I got a $190 strike. And because it was so far out of the money, right? I think that equated to just like around 70% of a gain, even though this was a big pop, right? I don't know what it was. That's just what I got. So it is what it is. But nonetheless, we rolled this up to a take profit target and we got our bread. So hopefully you guys were able to eat on that. And of course, we know that NVIDIA is much higher than this and we just continue to eat from there. And just so you know, Once we came back to retrace, you can see it right here. We had this big hammer at the bottom of this retracement, followed by a big green candle. So when you get a red solid candle, a hammer at the bottom of a downward move, and then a solid green candle, right? What is that? That's called a morning star, right? Essentially, I mean, well, it's a morning star. I mean, you can say a little small doji, like by definition, you need that, but it's a hammer at the bottom, and it's representative of a reversal nonetheless. And that was a good signal for people to hop into an extended calls. Okay, so that's what we got. This is Weatherman Real. Hopefully that all makes sense. Put a 1 in the chat if that makes sense to you, everybody. Let me know. All right, and let me know if it was helpful. All right, so let me switch back. All right, mic check 1 2 1 3. Mic check. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Was that helpful? And did it make sense? It's Weatherman Real. It's Weatherman Real. I'm bright. Hold on, I got a sharp bright. I was working and missed all these plays. It's all good. There'll always be another play, big dog. There'll always be another play. Hey, shout out to Keenan. I think that was like the biggest super chat I think I've ever had. $100. Now, I know some of you guys are like compounding super chatters, so I appreciate you in advance. But KG showed up to show love, and I appreciate that, big dog. You're a busy dude. You tuning in, tapping into me, showing love to me. I appreciate it, as always. All right, so I'm happy that it all makes sense. So now, without further ado, if there's no questions, hold up. Just so y'all know, for those that just tapped in, those are the wins. All the NVIDIA stuff that you see is pretty much what we just talked about. All right. Hey, you can't catch them all. Like, sometimes you run out of Pokeballs and you just can't get them. All right, let me stop playing around. My kids, I gotta be done before my wife and kids get home. So, all right, so let's go to the charts, okay? And then we're gonna get busy with the rapid fire chart analysis. All right, so I'll let you know when it's time to get ready, and we're just gonna get going. All right, so let me read the comments. Denise, you also been paper trading queen, and you've been setting the foundation and getting ready to go live with your money. All right, so it's all good. Paulo says, yes, sir. I finally got some time off. I'm on a mission to get some wins after all those losses. It's okay. Hey, just remember, you don't need to get it all back at one time. Okay. You don't have to get it all back at one time. Okay. Graham says, love it when you're talking candles at levels. Awesome. I'm glad it was helpful. All right. So 24 people in the building. Please make sure that you are hitting that like button. I'm not a millionaire, but I've seen people like KG lay out the foundation as far as how to get there. And I have 5 years of knowledge to provide, 5+ years of knowledge to provide. And I think it's $1 million worth of game. And if anybody told me that they're gonna give me $1 million worth of game and all I have to do is press a button, best believe I'm hitting a button every time. So please do me a favor and hit the button. Show love, show support. All right, appreciate it. Okay, so for those that are new, I already went over this earlier, but I'm just gonna be real quick. We're hitting the rapid fire live part of the session. Okay, what does that mean? That means that I'm going to be looking to the chart. I'm looking to the comments for your tickers. You're going to tell me what ticker you're interested in, whether it's NVIDIA, Amazon, SPY, AMD, whatever it is, and you're going to give me a bias if you have one. Let me know, is this a long-term investment for you? Let me know if you're in calls or thinking about calls, in puts or thinking about puts, right? Let me know those things. And I will do my best to break down the chart as I see it, and then by you providing that context, you're giving me the tools I need in order to speak to you, right? Essentially, so I get to kind of get my dialogue to align with what you're looking for. Okay, if your name is in green, that means you're a Sacrifice for Riches member and you have priority. If you are KGU, then you also have priority, but you have to put hashtag KGU at the end of your sentence of your ticker. Okay, if you don't have hashtag KGU, then you're a sub, and I appreciate you being here, subscribers. However, there's a priority list when it comes to me cranking out these things. Okay, traditionally I would go for 25 to 30 minutes. I'll try to see if I can swing for 25 today. I just have to be ready for my family when they get home, so dad duties are, you know, back in session, right? So read the comments. I think we're good. Okay, without further ado, this is Stocks for Real rapid fire chart analysis. Let's get it. Oh, I needed some sound though. Hold up. All right, let's get it. All right, now we're good. Clock's ticking. Let's see those tickers in the chat and let's see what we can come up with. You already know, sometimes I start off a little slower, but you know, we ramp up, all right? We ramp up, all right? So RKT, need supply demand, thinking I need more info. RKT, this is from Queen Denise, looking at rocket companies. All right, so you already know, we're gonna start off zoomed out. We're gonna reset our chart and we're gonna take a look, see what's going on here. So at the end of the day, just so you know, I know you want supply and demand zones, but it goes without saying that we are in an uptrend, right? We got higher lows and higher highs, and we're hitting this right now where we're sandwiched between a 20 and a 200-day EMA. This is a very dangerous area to trade. I don't know if you're looking for calls, puts, or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's kind of like in this no man's land. All right, so you're looking for your supply and demand zones. I'm gonna give them to you. All right, let's see if I can find them with ease. If I can't, then you know I'm gonna move on. But I typically don't have problems with this. So we're gonna go here, and we're gonna go here. Man, this is interesting. I don't know this company, but it doesn't matter. So if you're looking for stuff like this, then it takes a little time for me to get to it, but that's okay. All right. Okay, well that's easy. Well, I'm pretty much on point already. So right here is going to be your supply zone, right? So, and because we're in a larger time frame, there's going to be a darker zone for me, for your supply. This level right here at 1624, this is like my neutral zone. Okay, so this right here, this would be considered like my chop area, and pretty much my crossroad. You already know what time it is with the crossroad, right? So I'll do this. I'll put my crossing. Yeah, cross. Come on. I'm just gonna put that there. So essentially this right here is above it, you're bullish, below it, you're bearish. And it looks like in the after hours, it popped up to 1730. So it looks like we're still pretty bullish on this play or this company, right? We came down to hit this 200-day EMA and we have this doji candle at the end. And given what I see in the post market, this tells me that this is essentially a morning star that formed, and now we're on a rocket. So as long as this candle right here that you see in the after hours can stay solid, well, likely, I mean, you're looking for calls. I don't know if you're looking to play options or not, but nonetheless, as long as we're above 615, we're good to go. Below it, we're bearish. But as far as demand zone goes, I'm not really confident in anything that I see here except for this candle that just formed, okay? Because I can only assume that this is going to be respected. So this would be my range that I would be trading or be looking for my my trade. So I'll tag that so you can see the level itself. So $20.62 is the bottom of that supply, and then 1647 is going to be the top of the demand. All right, move on to whatever is next. What we got? Apollo says QS QuantumScape. They are in process of making self-charging batteries and are going to be commercializing soon. This is a long-term investment for me. Hashtag KGU. Let's get it. I love that detail. All right. So post-market, we're pretty much flat. But let's zoom out. We talked about this, right? We said we were in this descending wedge or descending triangle. I forgot what I had to look at my cheat sheet, but we were waiting for this breakout, and it actually finally happened. Not only did we break out, we actually formed a demand in the level of imbalance and came back to retest it for us to take off. So we did miss an opportunity to hop into calls and or hop into a potential investment, right? So now what are we looking at? Well, you see the 20-day EMA, you see the 200, everything's pointing up. And we're just bullish. We came back to retest this 20-day EMA and we're popped back off. So essentially, we're in a little bit of a tough spot for you as far as when you want to get in. I wouldn't be going in heavy right here. Personally, I would much rather see this come back down and retest $11.96 if we can make it happen. Now, outside of that, we are hitting a level of supply. Okay, so this right here is a level of resistance for us. Okay, so this is a level of resistance. So we might be in a little bit of a tight range for a little bit, big dog, until we break out of this area right here, right? Which the top of this supply zone is going to be $19.10, right? So it's not until we break this that we're truly bullish. If we're paying attention to volume and we see a huge volume pump towards, like, as we're moving into this, and we get strong, solid green body bars going into the supply zone, then it's telling us that we're likely going to smash through the supply zone and hopefully make a higher high. But we will see. So pay attention to this. I would set an alert at 1681 to see how price reacts to that level once we get there. Okay. If we fail to break back in here, so as you can already see, we were in, we got out, we pretend to go in, we got kicked out. Supplier said nope, and now we're gonna try again. If we can't crack this, then you're probably better off looking at a short position, but just pay attention because also a symmetrical system is forming, right? You can see it. Writing is kind of on the wall, right? And so you might see a temporary pullback based on what I see here. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. All right, moving on. What's next? SPY calls puts. All right, man. So JC, first of all, you already know I'm gonna show everybody this, but we do the SPY monthly and weekly within the Discord. Like, we review it. Okay, so so as you can see, like, this is what all. God dang it! I just screwed this up. Oh man. I don't know where this was. Okay, but anyway, you see all the work we put into it. So SPY takes some time. I'm not gonna do the SPY right now. You're gonna tune in on Sunday with the rest of the crew. All right. Let's see here. PayPal says Graham, KGU, PYPL. PayPal, love PayPal. We've been eating pretty good on PayPal. I gotta go back to my rapid fire chart though. That's where our data is. PYPL. So PayPal, you already see it, right? We already ran the levels for PayPal, which is a beautiful thing because all I need to do is speak to what I see. All right, so let me make sure that everything is dialed in properly before I start talking. And it is. All right, yep, and it is. All right, so pretty much this is my trading zone for PayPal. My trading zone is from 79.04 down to 55.69. Okay, so essentially anything above $67.39, we're bullish. Anything below it, we're bearish. As of right now, you have to understand that if you're looking at my chart and if you see a blue dash line, right, that's telling you that it's likely a really like neutral area, like where buyers and sellers are likely in agreement of price, and you're going to see a lot of consolidation, a lot of wicking. So patience is very much so required at this level. Okay, so just be careful right here because they will try to like fake you out. But as long as we're living above $67 and 40 cents, then again, we're more bullish than bearish. So what I would say, if you want to play it as like a call or a put option, if you're looking at a call option, is exactly what I talked about with NVDA a couple days ago. As we break this level at $67.40, We don't want to just hop in. We need confirmation. At not one point do you see confirmation below this level. So the moment we see us green wick back above or back through that level, then that's giving you like a good early sign of a potential call option. So, and you can do that more safely because you'll have less risk. Why? Because your risk reward is pretty high, right? Because you're only going to risk maybe 10% of this, and then your reward is, you know, you see your take profit target, $70, 73, 76, 79. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. Moving on. What we got? Roku, ROKU. I made a long video on Roku and about Kathy Woods and all this stuff. If you haven't seen it, go check out like the archive videos, because I talk very detailed about this company, as well as like Chewy and SoFi and stuff like that. That's when I was really pouring in a lot of time in the fundamentals of companies and stuff. So with Roku, I want to find that old chart, but I guess it doesn't matter. So with the Roku, we're in a little bit of an uptrend, right? Hold up, let me just get this right. Boom, boom. Okay, so we have this ascending triangle, this ascending channel that we have. We have higher lows and higher highs for the most part, and we are now above our 20-day EMA. Everything is kind of flaring up, right? But what we want to do is take a look and zoom out and then see where we're seeing resistance on Roku. Are you looking to invest in this company, or are you looking just to trade it? Because as of right now, we're at a level where we really need to break above it in order for us to be bullish on it. Because as of right now, it's testing the line, but it's not. Hold up. Okay. So Roku. I need to take a breath. All right. So this is pretty solid right here. That tracks. To make sure I'm tracking correctly. Okay. I gotta get my chart together with Roku. And give me a minute. All right. So essentially, Roku's at the top of here, and now you're at risk of a sell-off. Okay. So what do you see? Right. Well, I know that this is a supply zone area, right? Like, so sellers are living up here. Every time we come up this high, buyers kind of lose steam, sellers step in. And it's kind of what's going on right now. We had this false move towards the upside, a nice amount of bullish volume, and then we wicked back below this key level of $999.99, so essentially $100. The moment that you see this wick here, this is telling you that, hey, buyers, they're not in control past $100. And that's evident because we fell back down to $94.82 in the after hours. So as of right now, we are not bullish on this stock. If anything, I am bearish until we break $100 and confirm above. But I am not seeing a confirmation, and I see a lot of resistance up here. So that's what I got on Roku. All right, let's move on. That came from Queen Samantha Williams. Thank you, Queen, for asking. GN. Okay, you're KG. Okay, so Gene, hopefully I'm saying that right. Gene says, I'm up over 49% on ASTS and do not know if I should sell or hold. Okay, so ASTS. Thanks for asking and contributing to the channel or to the live stream. Okay, so we did do some work on this stock. All right, and you're up. That's great. So what am I what am I seeing here is the question. Why is this so weird? Give me a minute. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, I see. Brand new stock. So ASTS is AST Space Mobile. So we drew this level kind of before it even happened. So essentially, I had a high of 85.29, and I pretty much said that if we don't confirm above this level, then we're likely going to wick back through, and we're going to fall. We're going to fall out, right? So we're getting some retracement here, and we're definitely seeing the sellers step in. So with everything I do, just so I know, anything I do, I have a zone to which I trade, and the zone to which I'm trading here is the highs 85.29, the lowest 38.95. Okay, and then from here, I'm going to say that if you were short this position right now, then my take profit target would have been right around here at $73. Okay, so if you're trying to figure out whether or not you should get out, then I would say this is your last saving grace. If you fall below $73.05, then I would be looking to exit my position. Technically, is you do what you got to do. You have to. If you're asking yourself that question, it's probably time for you just to cut your losses or cut, lock in some gains, and then maybe look for re-entry. Because as of right now, you have more to lose than to gain, right? Why? Because we are failing to break above 85.29, and we're showing some strong resistance. So where do you go when you're selling off? You go down, and then where's the target? So we're at $77 right now in the post market. Well, that means, Queen, you got another $4 that you can potentially fall. And I don't know if I would be wanting to risk $4 on an options contract. So you have to make that decision for yourself. That is the levels that I see right here. Hopefully it helps. All right, let's move on to the next. Queen Denise says RKT beat earnings after hours today. I'm not going to go into it unless you have a question specifically for that, but shout out to RKT. Apollo Creed says I got in at $4. Okay, shout out to you. Heard that I like a pullback to the 10. Okay, so we already talked about it. Queen Fee says, good evening. I missed a lot. Can you do RR calls for options TP targets? Okay, so RR is Rich Tech Robotics. Never heard of him. I actually am interested in robotics companies, so I'm gonna have to do some research, especially those that are talking about prosthetics. I'm very interested in that. I follow a company right now that is not yet public, but I would love for them to go public. But anyway, so what are you asking me? You said RR calls, you're looking for take profit targets. Okay. Well, I mean, just quick thing, right? You're in an ascending channel. You got higher lows and higher highs for the most part. We're just broke out of this consolidated area. And now we're trying to pretty much find our footing up here. So this is pretty solid, a solid look as far as where you want to be. But just give me a minute. Let's see what we can come up with. Nope. Give me a minute. I'm not really a fan of how this looks right now, so let's go to the daily and see if I see something that looks a little bit better for me. I think this makes more sense. All right, let me make sure that this all makes sense. All right, so this would be my trading range, Queen, on this particular stock. Right, as you guys know, or some of you know, some of you don't know, I do color code everything, so all of my colors in my charts are pretty much the same, because when I am doing my day-to-day or whatever and the market gives me a call and says, hey Rail, it's time to get into calls on NVIDIA, then I can look at my chart and I know exactly what red means, I know what blue means, I know what white means, yellow and green means, so, and orange. So I have those colors in my business plan and I stay consistent with those colors, so when I come into the market, there's no guesswork, or I'm reducing the amount of brain power required for me to make a decision. So if you're not doing that, I suggest that you do, because it'll make your life a little easier. Okay, just know, pro tip. All right, so anyway, for levels, well, we're just gonna work within the zone that we're in right now, Queen. And as of right now, you're at a potential take profit target right now. I don't know if you're in calls or not, but at the end of the day, make sure that that lines up perfectly. This is my trading zone for this. Okay, now there's take profit targets in between these levels, but those are just more if you just want to get a quick scalp, or because they're potential areas of like consolidation and stuff in between the fray. But here's your key levels, right? So Right now we're closing or in the post market below $5. So that means that we fell below a key level of $5.34. If we are confirming below this level, then we could very well just be coming back down to this demand zone area where $4 is. Now, I want you to know when you're looking at my charts, anything above the blue dash line is bullish overall. Okay, that doesn't mean that we can't like ride a wave down, but ultimately we're bullish. We have a bullish bias when we're above this level. If we're below this level, right, we have a bearish bias. Okay, just so you know. But anyway, that is the levels that I would have for you. Next, we got Marcelo, KGU in the house, and S4. Hey, shout out to you for tapping in, being in both, big dog. Hopefully, being in both is helpful to you in your trading journey. Okay, I like to think of S4R, Sacrifice for Riches, as like a tech community college, and KGU, it's like a university. We got multiple professors, we got multiple classes. You know, you got to go across campus to learn this. You got whole curriculums. Plus, you got the dean teaching stuff, right? So, like, it's a little different over there. Samantha, what's good, Will? I see you, big dog. Apollo. I actually use Rocket for tracking my finances. Rocket Mortgage or Rocket? Okay. Denise, RKT just bought my home Rocket Mortgage company, so I'm investing into them now. Okay, shout out to y'all. Let's see. Soundhound calls Marcelo says Soundhound calls 3 to 6 months. Thoughts? So you're looking for essentially some leap options on Soundhound. So it's a sound, ticker symbol SOUN, Soundhound AI. So this is a tough one. The only reason why it's tough is because we're at a near high, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but we got to be cautious up here. Okay. So what do I want to see with this? Let's go to the 4-hour. So we already ran a little bit here, and we identified like a double top, and then it actually fell through, right? It actually played out, got a double top, and then it sold off on us. Right, so now we're actually sandwiched between a 20 and a 200-day EMA, which is a no trade zone for me. I'm not touching this. I'm not looking for calls or puts right now until we confirm above or below these things. I don't typically trade off of the EMAs, but they are nice so you like kind of understand where you are and what the, just what's going on. So something needs to happen. We need to break above or break below, but as of right now, I would not personally be looking for any type of calls or puts on this play, okay, personally. So this is like KG says, like a gamble zone. This is like a no trade zone for me. Okay, if we can like confirm above, great. We're at the 200-day EMA here at 1654. You can look for the bounce and look for an early entry for a potential call, and then just understand that your stop loss is going to be outside of this gamble zone, right? So this is at $15.17 is the bottom. If we break this and confirm below it, then man, we're going down to about $13.55. So as of right now, I'm not really confident in this position for upside on Soundhound. Okay, I could be wrong. A couple things also that you're seeing here is, one second, is that you have a cup and handle type of situation going on, right? So y'all see that, right? Let's see if I can just do, see, you got your cup and you got your handle. So this could be a potential move. Typically with the cup and handle, you hop in on a position near the bottom of the handle, right? So, and in this case, that bottom is looking to be the bottom of this kind of this zone. But let me do this. We have a demand zone down here. Okay. So, which again lines up with what my theory is. So yes, you can probably be bullish on here, but you're gonna need the proper price action to show you what's good. Okay. This isn't a supply zone. I just have it tagged like the way it is. So I'm just gonna make this black, and just so you know. But anyway, yes, I would be looking, preferably entry one is probably going to be around here at $15.29. If we break this, then I'm going to be paying attention to this demand zone here at $14.31. And you might see something like this where we break in and then break back up and start seeing bullish momentum. And that would be your sound or your trigger to hop into potential calls. All right, what else we got? We got 1 minute, 2 minutes left on the timer. Quick commercial break. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I appreciate this love and support in advance. Okay. All right. Will Gray says, OpenDoor, I am invested in the stock. Checking where this is headed. Seems to be downtrending. I'm in KGU. So open. Ticker symbol OPEN. OpenDoor Technologies. Right. So, I mean, man, I love this actually. So we've called this before, right? We have this descending triangle, right? But, or hold on, is that what this is? Descending. Yeah, I think so. Right. But anyway, so we had our breakout. Well, okay. So I tried to predict that this would happen. It kind of just did a V-shape recovery and just took off. So whatever. It didn't really maintain the shape here. But one thing I do see is that we are in a potential flagged formation. So let's go here. So we have a huge move up, and then we have this structure that just formed, right? So with this structure, you have your lower highs and lower lows. And now we're kind of doing our dance and trying to figure out what's about to happen with the direction. We just fell below the 20-day EMA. There's a huge gap between the 20 and the 200, right? As you can see. And so this gap likely is going to kind of come together. It might not, but nonetheless, just look out for it. But what I would like to see personally is for us to live above this middle line here on this level. So what I mean is, as we're doing our little dance here in this descending channel, I would like for us to find some support here and then start to trade sideways like this, because once you start to see a consolidation and you don't see us coming back down to retest this descending line of support, you start to see like this kind of action that happens in a potential breakout, right? So that's kind of what you want to look for open. You might think it's bearish, but it's actually just it looks like normal price action here. Another thing you can do, you can always bring up the fibs. I don't use fibs that often, but you can go from the last leg. 1 second. So from the base here to the top here, right, you get a nice golden pocket that it just retested. Come on, golden pocket, right? So look what it did. It came back, retested the golden pocket of the fib, and then it bounced. So essentially that's your protection at this point. For as long as we're above this level right here, which the golden pocket is sitting at about 625, you're pretty solid. This is a pretty nice reaction to that level, but you got a lot of top wicks happening here. So it's just saying that bulls are trying to fight. They're pretty aggressive down here, but the sellers are still here and trying to suppress the stock. We're not really ready to take off yet. Also, I would pay attention to what you're seeing in the candles. As you're noticing, right, you're seeing more solid green candles, right, than the red candles, right? So you're seeing more wicking and thinner red candles than green candles. So the bodies are stronger for the bulls. So this is telling me that there's a good chance that we could likely take this thing towards the upside. All right, so that's that. And where to, you can just look at the base level of previous support, which is at 1362. That's a potential run, but again, I would want to capture that as close to this pocket as possible, just so you know. All right, so that is the rapid fire chart analysis. How many tickers did we cover? Let's talk about it. We hit on OpenDoor Technologies, ticker symbol OPEN, SoundHound AI, ticker symbol SOUN, Rich Tech Robotics, ticker RR, AST Space Mobile, which is ASTS, Roku Inc, ROKU. We talked about PayPal Holdings, which is PYPL, SPY, briefly talked about. QuantumScape Corporation, ticker symbol QS. Rocket Technologies, or Rocket Companies, I'm sorry, aka Rocket Mortgage, ticker symbol RKT. We talked about NVIDIA, NVDA, and we absolutely killed the game today. So hopefully everybody was able to gather some knowledge, not just on the ticker, but also if you were able to absorb any of the information that I was putting down as it relates to trading, then I've done my job, right? So hopefully that was helpful. Put a 1 in the chat or a fire emoji in the chat and let me know if this was helpful for you. All right. You got to let me know so I know to keep doing it. All right. Shout out to earnings November 6th. Cool. All right. So now that we're done, I always leave 2 minutes on the timer for any questions or whatnot. So I'll sit here, address any questions. I will not go back to the charts, okay? Jeannie. All right, there we go. Thank you for putting the Jeannie in there. Now I know how to say your name. Thanks, Queen. I appreciate you. You're a sub. I'm not sure if you're... Yeah. So anybody here, if you're not a member of Sacrifice for Riches, or if you're not a member of KGU, then please do consider becoming part of a community. I gotta say this. Being in the Discord is not about getting plays. It's not about getting trades, right? It's a bonus. That's a perk for being in a Discord, right? However, the true sense of the Discord is community, and it's being around a bunch of like-minded people so you can elevate your game, so you can stay clear-minded and focused, right? So you have people to lean on, right? When you are not at your best, right? I'm not an expert, right? I have had many lows, and I'm also one of those that, you probably don't, I'm not the type to reach out for help, or at least I wasn't, right? But then sometimes you just get tired of being tired, right? And sometimes internalizing things isn't necessarily the best thing for you. So I've used KGU before, and meaning I've talked to some of the goats that might not be crowns, but I respect them as traders and as people, and I became vulnerable because I was going through a mental block at one point in my life trading, where I was like, man, I need to have a conversation, right? I need to talk to somebody. It's not like I don't know what I'm doing, but at the same time, obviously, right, I'm not doing something right. It might be something so small that I didn't think of. And I like to think that I think about everything. I'm very analytical. However, there's things that people are doing, and you see it in the discourse. People are making tens of thousands of dollars. Sometimes, I know we got a bunch of millionaires in KGU. I know we got a bunch of people making thousands of dollars in Sacrifice for Riches, and I'm a small fry guy. I'm very conservative, but it's one of those things that I'm on my journey, right? I'm on my journey, and I'm taking my sweet time because I know what my flaws are. I know what I need to work on, essentially, right? And until I am comfortable, right, being in that position where I'm out of my zone less often, right, and it's not eating away at me where I'm revenge trading or whatever, blowing accounts or whatever, I'm gonna be chill, right? I'm gonna take my time. But guess what? I know that if I ever do get into that position, right, I have my wife to talk to. I have the Sacrifice for Riches community to talk to, right? I got KGU to talk to, right? We have a community. I don't have a bunch of friends that are in this space, right? In my immediate social group. I don't have that. I still talk to them about things because a lot of the things dealing with the stock market is more mental than technical, right? So all I'm saying is that if your names are in gray and you're not in KGU, or if you're not in Sacrifice for Riches, or in any Discord or whatever, I would say find a home, because nobody should be on this journey alone. That's just what I'm saying. I don't think it's necessary for you to walk the path alone, right? And also, if you're in a good Discord, right, then 9 times out of 10, if you're paying attention to what's being taught, The memberships pay for themselves. And I pride myself on making sure that I'm giving plays consistent enough where the membership pays for itself, right? I popped up all of the wins from this week. This is 3 days. Well, no, hold on, 1 second. Hold on. A lot of what you see here is over the course of 3 to 4 days, right? And I don't do it all the time. I make mistakes, right? I have down days. I was on a 16 trading streak where I did no wrong. I was just killing the game. Then I had a bad day, whatever. But now I'm back again. So it's like, it is what it is. I am improving as a trader. I'm improving as a coach. And I owe a lot of that to the community, y'all, right? Because I can keep it real. I can be 100 with everybody. I'm not a fraud. I'm not faking, pretending like I'm somebody I'm not. I'm not a millionaire, right? I'm not pretending, right? I'm being completely transparent and humbled as far as who I am as a trader and as a person. And that allows me to do what I'm doing right now. So I thank y'all for being here rocking with me. But again, if you don't have a home, find one. If you're not in a community, find one. It's important in my opinion, right? And if you say you can't afford it, think about how much money you're donating to the market if you're not a profitable trader, right? Something has to change. You have to do something different to go. You have to do something that you haven't done to go somewhere you've never been, right? And maybe that might be the missing step for you. But take what I just said, that quote, and apply it in your trading. What are you not doing that you can be doing that could separate you from the you yesterday, right? Right? What can you be doing, right? What's one more thing that you can do today or tomorrow when you start trading that would make an improvement in your trading? Is it journaling? Is it taking a specific setup? Is it trading at a specific time and being consistent at that time? Is it what is it, right? Figure it out, right? Is it meditating? Is it waking up early and going on a walk? Whatever it is, you got to find your one thing that's going to take you to the next level. And my journey has been incremental because I've been making these changes, right? Because I want it, right? And I'm willing to make changes for me to go where I want to go. Alcohol free for over 2 years. I love to drink. I'm a fun drunk, right? But something wasn't right? Something wasn't right for me. So I was like, you know what? It's not that important. What's more important to me, right? I don't do it no more because that's not important to me. My family's important to me. My wealth is important to me, right? That's what it is. So identify your why and figure out what's the one thing that you can do to get you where you want to be, but also join a community, okay? It doesn't have to be mine. I'm a small fry. Go to a university if you want to. I got a referral link for KGU. Just let me know. Or hit the join button here. Either which way, just find a home. All right. So comments, I appreciate the fire emojis. Nicole says, thank you, Real. I got you tomorrow. I appreciate you. You got me tomorrow? I don't know what that means, but okay, queen. All right. And Will Gray says, it ain't the destination, it's the journey that mows you. Real talk. All right. With that all being said, I got to go. Peace and love, everybody. I appreciate you being here. Every Thursday, technically at 6 p.m., we'll be here doing the Rapid Fire live stream. All right. So this is Dr. Pharrell, Sacrifice for Riches. Everybody, take care.